Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello. Happy Monday. How are you doing? If you're joining us on a replay, big hello to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And always, please include in comments the word replay so I can catch your view, because I hate to miss you. I want to make sure I know when you're watching. And if you're joining us live, well, hello. Welcome to the show. Let's start with the financial markets. Let you know what's been going on today. The Dow closed down 184 points. The NASDAQ actually was up 62 points, and S&P was also down 15. The Dow Jones and the S&P fell today because of the pending COVID-19 pandemic restrictions and shutdowns, even though the vaccine rollout begins this week. Because today, New York City's Mayor Bill de Blasio warned that the city would experience a full shutdown very soon. In fact, I have friends from across the globe and other parts of the world outside the United States, and they're actually experiencing full shutdown or about to, or they're just coming out of a 100+ day shutdown. I know in Melbourne, they had a very successful 100+ day shutdown. They said it was difficult, but it was certainly worth it because now things are feeling a little bit more normal. Now, it's an unfortunate necessity here in the United States as cases on COVID continue to rise. So let's talk about what's going on with the stimulus discussions, why don't we? Because, millions of U.S. families are struggling to pay their bills and layoffs remain historically high. And unfortunately, among consumers who have been affected, about 80% are concerned about the ability to pay bills. And half are saying that they're worried about affording their rent or mortgage. Where does the government currently stand on these stimulus discussions, you might be wondering? Well, nearly 2 in 5 impacted consumers said that they really need a future stimulus check, or they don't know how they're going to get by after the holidays. And both political parties have said that they need to send a stimulus relief before they're going home for the holidays this week. But the reality is that they've been bickering about the next round since April. And we're really concerned about Americans going hungry, homeless, facing eviction, and being on or losing unemployment benefits, or the needs of our schools and our healthcare professionals. So we're really hoping for better news sooner rather than later. And I want to say a quick hello to Justin Simon, who's joining us on Facebook. It's so wonderful to see you, my friend, longtime friend of mine. 60% of Americans recently surveyed said that they've been experiencing financial hardship due to the pandemic. So here's the deal. $908 billion COVID relief package has they're talking about this package right now. Lawmakers plan to split the package into 2 separate proposals. In fact, one bill, which is earmarked for about $748 billion, will include money for small business loans, jobless benefits, and vaccine distribution. The second one, here's the controversial one, is a package that includes $160 billion for state and local aid that includes liability protections for businesses and other entities. And that's really the 2 biggest sticking points, in fact. And that's really why we still haven't seen another round of stimulus since April. And it's really uncertain how many senators and House members from the group will sign on to the second proposal. But the expectation is the first proposal should be agreed upon pretty smoothly. So let's hope. Fingers crossed, why don't we? Lawmakers are likely to agree on funding for supplemental unemployment aid, which unfortunately expires on December 26th, just next week, for about 12 million jobless Americans. So crazy time. But one analyst said that the economy actually needs up to the article said about 4 to 5 times more money than the lawmakers are currently considering to return to pre-pandemic levels. But you get the point. We really need money, so we'll take what we can get. But certainly, everybody's watching the stimulus saga continue, if you will. And many of you might be wondering, what about that stimulus check, right? Are we going to get another round of stimulus check? And unfortunately, based on where the bill or the provision is right now, it doesn't include a stimulus check. However, Senator Bernie Sanders has actually continued to say if there isn't a stimulus check, he's going to fight the bill to the end. So he said that last week. Didn't happen yet. So he's saying by Friday, they better see another round of stimulus checks. So let's see and let's hope. So Another thing that I really want to talk about is this. You may have seen this already. I just did a campaign with my friends at Chase Credit Cards, and they're offering this too. With the pandemic, there's a big surge on new credit card and consumer trend, which is the buy now, pay later program, which is much like the past layaway programs, that you may have remembered. I remember spending some time with my mother-in-law, and she was talking about, she used to sell jewelry in the San Antonio flea market, and people would do layaway plans for jewelry. So they would come like every week or every month and make a small deposit. And then when they were all said good was done, then they would take their jewelry. But now companies such as PayPal and Chase are offering them to allow consumers more time to pay for their purchases. So what do consumers need to do before using this method? I really want to talk about this a little bit, because the reality is that Americans like having options when they shop on how they're going to pay for purchases, and millions of purchases, believe it or not, are made via these programs. And there was a recent survey that showed that 44% of consumers do use the buy now, pay later. They think this is very, very important in their holiday shopping. About half surveyed actually said that this would actually allow them to spend an extra 10 to 20% more than they normally would on their credit card. So over 186 million consumers currently have credit cards. And the good news, though, on that front is that credit card debt is falling at never been seen levels. So that's awesome. But if you're going to be using this route of buy now, pay later, the thing I really want to put on your radar is that these plans definitely do vary. Because I recently worked with Chase, I know that their plan enables you to set up consistent monthly payments without incurring interest if you meet a certain minimum level. You definitely want to check out the terms and fine print for that. But there's other plans out there that I've seen online that actually do accrue interest. But here's the thing. If you miss a payment, okay, if you're not able to do this, you're not for sure able to make those payments in the future, do not engage in one of these plans, because there are fees and penalties and interest, and it's just a big fat mess. So I actually recommend, if you can, just to not even go this route. This should be your last resort. Like, if you have no other option, then you might want to consider this. But my suggestion is just pay what you can pay off in full this month and every single month, and your loved ones will understand. Your loved ones don't want you to get into debt for buying them a holiday gift. All right. So thank you so much always for tuning in as we talk trending and real news that you can use. And please continue to send me your questions and comments by just responding here. Or you can always email them to me on my website, because your questions, as you know, help so many people that continue to watch and go through this time that we're going through together. And you just don't know. The questions that you have are what other people have as well. And we'll be answering a whole list of your questions, of course, right on the show this Friday. Thank you so much for watching, supporting our program, and of course, sharing the show. Be well, and I can't wait to see you again tomorrow. Take care now.